Hi, Goddess of Awesome here, and I wanted to do a follow-up on some of the back page dilemma that's going on right now. You know, I had made a few videos the night that I heard it got shut down. Now, I didn't work that day. I did not post that day. I was working on all my pursuits of freeing myself from the sex industry, creating a website for you, making my YouTube videos, all that jazz. I wasn't working at all as a sensual massage provider, you know? So I didn't even know until 8:30 at night that back page got closed down. Around 8:30 at night on Friday, April 6th is when I found out. And I made my first shoot for you. I rolled the camera in the bathroom because there was no light. You know, the sun was gone. So anyways, here's someone who had commented on one of my videos. See what the video says. Oh, it's my back page shut down today, part 2. And someone says they were breaking up a lot of families. They're just as bad as drug dealers. All right, let's chew on that for a minute. So basically, this person believes that sex workers are just as bad as drug dealers, and sex workers are breaking up families. Wow. I didn't comment or respond because I'm doing a video for you on responding. Hope the person who wrote that gets to watch this. You know, I've pondered that for a long time, you know. I've been in the gig for 21 years. I've been 18 years as a sensual massage therapist. That means a hand job expert. Full body massage with a hand job happy ending at the end. And then 3 years as an exotic dancer. So I pondered on this for many, many, many years. And here's what I have to say about that. I strongly believe sex workers do not break up families, okay? How is coming to see a sex worker, or how is having a social dance on a dance floor for 3-minute song with a person you're not romantically engaged with, or you know, and your person you are romantically with is on the other side of the ballroom, or they're sitting in the corner sad that you're dancing without him. I don't know. How is interacting with any other person breaking up your family or your marriage or your togetherness if you're a couple? No. If your relationship is so fragile that coming to see a sex worker would break it up, then you didn't have a strong bond to begin with, or your relationship has run its course so much so where it's so frayed that anything would have caused your loving mate to move on. I strongly believe, and again, I've thought about this for a while, this is what I think. I think coming to see a sex worker is going to do one of 2 things for a person. Oh, my dog is throwing up. Can you hear that? Just talking about imperfections on my shooting. Guess I could stop and start again, but I don't have time. So, coming to see a sex worker is going to do 1 to 2 things. 1. If you come see a sex worker, be it a dancer, a full-service girl, a sensual massage therapist, a transgender, anybody you'd see in person, maybe even a cam girl, when you have that interaction with a sex worker, you're either gonna, 1, it's gonna confirm to you, the person, maybe a male, but chicks see sex workers too, so don't just think it's boys. It's going to confirm that, 1, you really do love your mate, and it may not be perfect, but there's enough there to keep you there, and you're going to happily go home. Or 2, it's going to confirm to you that, yeah, it's not working at home. You know, something's not good, something you may not ever recover from. Maybe somebody cheated, maybe somebody's lied, maybe a combination of things, you know what I mean? But coming to see a sex worker isn't going to break up your marriage. If you have a strong marriage, there's no way in hell coming to see a sex worker is going to ruin that, you know? And don't just think that all sex workers are full service. There is a lot of hand job specialists out there. where no fluids are being exchanged. It's just a body massage. When they're face down, 90% of the session is they're face down. They're not even touching. They're face down. And then they get flipped at the end, and then they get their happiness. You know, I usually spend a few seconds, maybe 90 seconds on the chest, 45 seconds on the thighs, and then it goes to that. You know, for the people who've come to see me who are like, oh, don't you do more thigh work or upper body chest work? You what? You're here for a sensual massage. You're lucky you just got a full body rub. Now you want it to be your whole chest and all your legs for... It's not a strictly therapeutic massage here. You get a great body work session. You get flipped. You get a few moments. I mean, I could spend a few moments elsewhere and then go to it. There might be some providers who go straight to it the minute they flip you, you know? But as far as breaking up families, coming to see a sex worker could never break up that which wasn't already broken. Coming to see a sex worker could never break up that which was already frayed. Coming to see a sex worker could never tear apart a union that was solid. So if the person, male or female, came to see a sex worker and they had an aha moment where they realized, aha, it really sucks at home. I'm not happy. I'm discontent. It's not getting better. I've talked about it. We've tried. Things aren't getting better. It's time to move on. You know what I mean? There's a lot of guys who make those decisions without ever having seen a sex worker. You know, they try to make things work and then it doesn't work, and then they realize they've tried as much as they possibly can and it's time to move on. So if you're thinking that if your man or woman comes sees a sex worker and then they decide to end their relationship with you, has nothing to do with the sex worker getting in between you guys. You want to know why? In general, sex workers are not emotionally involved. We don't care. You know, we will listen, we'll be as empathic, you know, as empathetic as we possibly can be and listen tenderly for the time that that person shares with us. But do you think that later on that we're going to call them or reach out to them and go, oh man, I sure hope things are okay for you. How's it going today? Are you hanging in there? Call me if you need anything. Yeah, right. We don't do that. We're busy. And also we don't care, you know. We're therapists. On a lot of levels, we are therapists. And it's a job for us, you know. So if you think if your relationship or marriage is ending because you think your hubby or your wife saw a sex worker and that's breaking you up, yeah, you probably got to look in the mirror, you know. Every time you point your finger this way, there's 3 fingers pointing back at you, you know. So always take personal responsibility. That's the first place. Acknowledgement and personal responsibility, you know, it takes 2 to tango. Your person won't be running off trying to find a sex worker if you're handling business at home. You know, I have a book that I'm working on that's almost done. It addresses a lot of this. So I'm really excited to get that book out for you all so we can have a more in-detailed discussion about what it is a hand job specialist does. You know, that's the branch that I've been on, sensual massage, you know, full body sensual massage. So I can't speak to you from the awareness or viewpoint of any other branch in the industry other than being an exotic dancer or a sensual massage therapist. Those are the 2 branches that I have been on for 21 years. 3 years as a dancer, 18 years as a hand job specialist. And I've mastered that craft. So I've written a book. It's almost finished. Share my insights with you. And my book is primarily towards and directed to women. I mean, men are going to love my book, absolutely love my book, you know, but it's really for girls. Because if I had a man And he was out there doing that. I mean, I would not be happy about it either, you know. I mean, I did have it, my first love. Boy, it crushed me when he found out that he had raked up over $400 in 1 month on phone sex. And it was so hurtful. Boy, that hurt. I thought to myself, and I even said it to him, I mean, I'm the one you're supposed to be talking this way with, you know? Why didn't you come to me? And his response was like, ugh. It's pretty much what I got. One of those. See, even my little brow thing fell down because it knew the roll of the eyes is a strong deal. But why didn't he come talk to me? He didn't come talk to me because I was unreachable. My mind space didn't have the availability to speak about the things that he was curious to speak about. And he probably knew had been met with judgment. So he refrained from speaking with his lover. And he went and called a girl who could get hot and heavy over the phone, a stranger. See, sometimes it's so much easier for guys to open up when they're anonymous, right? They're with an anonymous person, basically. And they're anonymous, basically. And they know when they're done having their confession or whatever the heck that they need to get, you know, that safe space to verbalize. A, I don't know anybody they know, so I can't tell on them, you know. And B, they're probably never going to call me again, you know, and they know that. So, I mean, there might be some people who connect and want, you know, mentally feel extra safe, and maybe they'll come back. I mean, I definitely have had my fair share of repeat clients, you know. But do sex workers break up homes? No, we sure don't. We either let the person know that, A, by coming to see us, they're going to realize, oh my God, I really have it good at home. It may not be perfect, but it's good and I can live with it and I'm happy to go home. That's going to be one of two possibilities. Or they're going to come see a sex worker and realize, oh man, yeah, it really sucks at home. Boy, I've been trying this for a while. It's lost a lot of flavor. We don't communicate anymore. We don't see eye to eye. We're growing in different directions. And it's not the same direction. So that's what I believe for people to come see a sex worker would do for them. You know? I don't think we break up marriages. If anything, we're a therapist who has a tender ear, who can hear things that their lovers can't hear, and we won't judge them for it. That's why they feel safe talking to us. Are we as bad as drug dealers? I don't know. I guess that's open for interpretation. Certainly, people can become addicted to the sex industry. I mean, come on now. Look at the economy, the underground economy that happens from sex work. I think that's what's pissing off the government, and honestly that's what the whole Backpage thing is really about on a lot of levels, you know. If people are mad about that, then decriminalize it. Let's get the civil rights movement going so sex workers can have a valid place in society and be able to go to work without being criminalized. And rightfully so, would be happy to pay taxes and any kind of whatever if you just stop branding a sex worker as a criminal. Most sex workers are workers. They're going to work. It's an exchange of energy for green energy. Green energy being money. Money is energy. It's green energy. And you can exchange any type of energy for green energy. This is commerce. It happens every day, all day long. You have all different brackets of commerce. So, sex workers were just as bad as drug dealers. This person wrote on it. No, I don't think so. We're not out there trying to hook your man with speed or cocaine or heroin. We're not calling them up, pushing it. Hey, did you need some more? Here's some more. It's gonna cost this much. I need your rent money. That's what it is. And your grocery money and your car note money. No, if you have an addictive personality, that's what it is. You're going to be addicted to anything, and you want to just say you can be addicted to drugs or sex. You can be addicted to food. How many of you out there are addicted to food? There's bread addictions, there's cheese addictions, there's sugar addictions, there's alcohol addictions. That's kind of a food, sorta. Grease, I've heard of that one. Grease addiction, meat addiction, cookie dough addiction, ice cream addiction. Come on now, have I hit one of those? That almost every single person out there has a vice of some nature. Just because it doesn't come from your local street drug sale, or just because it doesn't come from the underground of the sex worker world, the consensual sex worker world. You can have lots of different kinds of addiction. I'm addicted to working out. I'm okay with that. I only ever met one person who thought it wasn't okay to work out and be addicted to it. Well, that's what I think about that. There's a lot of other addictions that are way worse to have. If going to the gym and not being able to not go to the gym freaks you out, then get your ass to the gym and get it. Go get those endorphins. There's a lot worse addictions out there to have, you know? Some people might be addicted to fresh air, and they have to have that walk every single day outside, or a hike every single day, or a few times a week, you know? So, sex workers are just as bad as drug dealers. I don't think so whatsoever. And I strongly believe the person who probably commented has their own vice. I'm sure they're addicted to something. Probably sugar, easily. Most people are. Or you could be addicted to counting calories. That addiction exists. People are addicted to throwing up their food. That's called bulimia. People are addicted to starving themselves to death because they have poor body awareness. So that's called anorexia. There's lots of different addictions out there. So I don't think the sex worker is pushing it out on people like heroin. You know, and if people become addicted to a sex worker or the sex industry, it's because they have an addictive personality to start with, and they could be addicted to anything. Anything. So that's all I have to say about that. I don't think sex workers break up homes. If anything, we are therapists that let people understand maybe they got it good at home and they're happy to go home more than ever after they've seen a sex therapist of some nature. Or they're going to realize that home sucks more than ever, and their true gut feeling is nudging them towards leaving and seeing a sex worker, whatever branch she's on or he's on. Just confirm that to the person. So if you lost your lover if you think you've lost your lover to a sex worker and that they're breaking up your home, darlings, your home was already frayed and fragile to begin with. Because a strong union and a strong relationship could weather anything. And if your friendship is that tattered that going to see a sex worker tips the scale, you didn't have something strong to begin with. So I'm sorry to say that, but I think that's the honest to goodness truth. So that's all. I'm the Goddess of Awesome. Thanks so much for being here. Bright blessings and be well.